Welcome to Jurassic World.
Welcome to Jurassic World Minute, where we visit Jurassic World 1 minute at a time. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And this episode, we're here to discuss Minute 98 of Jurassic World. But Dave, before we get to that, heading over to Jurassic-Pedia.com, we have a new article up here by Dilorex. Another one of the, what do you classify this as, the real encyclopedia articles?
Yeah, this is another one of those of the actor articles that we've been putting up. And so yeah, Joe Mazzello, Tim Murphy. Bit of a bio here on Joseph himself. Mm-hmm. Of course, his role in Jurassic Park. He was not. Oh, that's right. He was passed over in Hook. Yeah, he was meant to be in Hook, but wasn't. Then Spielberg got him back for Jurassic. So all that is TV. Okay. Felt he was too young for Hook at the time. I think was how it went.
Was he 8 or 10 years old in Jurassic Park? Because he was pretty young there too.
Yeah, 10.
10. I'm sure there's probably some sort of union or film industry age level there where.
Yeah.
More so for filming. I think Vanessa had the same problem with. When they were shooting on the nighttime stuff in the village for Lost World, there was certain times, certain shots they'd have to film before the 10 o'clock curfew or 11 o'clock curfew or something. They weren't allowed to film after that.
Yeah, because we got the same thing here in Illinois. Is like people under 18 have an 11 o'clock curfew. They got to be home by 11.
Yeah. But a full write-up here on his involvement in Jurassic and other movies as well. Mm-hmm. I don't recall him in G.I. Joe Retaliation, but I might have to re-look into that.
I never saw that one, but I did watch. I was binging The Pacific last weekend, and he's in that as of course the main role, and it was very, very good in it. It had some other actors in there I wasn't expecting to show up. Rami Malek was in it, who he of course played the title role in Bohemian Rhapsody. He was Freddie Mercury, which is funny because Joe played, I think, the bassist. I can't remember what his name was in Bohemian Rhapsody. So it was kind of like a little reunion for them.
Yep.
And of course, they're both much younger in the Pacific. That came out over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it has been a while. That was the first sort of thing I'd seen or knew that it was in after Jurassic. I know there's been a lot of people saying, well, we need him back for Dominion. You got all these other original cast back. He'd be one of the ones if he did have a cameo in Dominion or something. It'd have to be marketing or something to say, because he definitely has lost that little Timmy look to him.
But at the same time, he still looks like you can see it's him.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed he gets some sort of cameo in there. He's got to.
Mm-hmm. I really hope he does. I mean, him and Ariana Richards have both been fan favorites to return.
Yeah. We've talked before about where's Nick, where's Sarah. Get some more Lost World people in there. But yeah, if you're looking at that original Jurassic cast, it's really those two that are still alive, unfortunately, that haven't reappeared since The Lost World in any of the films.
Mm-hmm.
Get them back. So, yeah, for that article and many more, head over to Jurassic-Pedia.com and check them out.
Hold your fire! Do not fire! Put 12 amps in these animals, they're never going to trust me again.
Dave, ready to give Minute 98.
All right.
Alright, Minute 98 of Jurassic World opens with a scared Grey wanting to go home, and ends with an object in the mirror being closer than it appears. As we end in Minute 97, Grey was scared and wanted to go home, and the joy of Jurassic World was gone for the kids. As Claire continues to reassure him in Minute 98, she says, "Tomorrow you'll be home and your mother will never let me see you again." And that's when we get a bit of a jump scare here with a bloody hand on the Unimog window, and this guy must be 7 feet tall to be able to do it, because we've seen earlier where Claire had to reach up above her head just to get to the door handle to open the door. Yet this soldier's been able to slap his bloody hand right in the middle of the side window of the Unimog.
He's going for the high shot.
High five. Everyone screams, of course, as we look past the bloody hand and see the soldier standing there as he yells, "Get out of here, go."
I think it's interesting, though, how the shot of the bloodied handprint against Claire's face almost looks like a slasher movie poster.
All I can think is Wilson from Castaway. With that hand there.
But, I mean, yeah, you can see her mouth perfectly framed by the middle of the palm, and then her eyes between each finger.
Mm. Yeah, they did frame the shot well for that.
Yeah.
And because she's looking like, I don't think she's probably seen blood in her life, and here's this bloody window on the hand, pretty much emphasising everything she'd just seen on that tablet was now right outside that door.
And is that the guy? Wasn't that the guy that played Carter too?
Yeah, he's got a beard here. It's a quick shot. I haven't got the screen caps up, but I know he was in the movie as well. It was one of these soldiers.
Mm. But either way, it kind of makes me question: is he actually injured, or is that somebody else's blood? Was he pulling somebody out from being hurt, and he got blood on his hands from somebody else's injuries?
With how much blood is on the hand, and with how, I won't say nimble, but how he's able to then run around to the back of the Unimog and throw the back doors open, I'm guessing it's someone else he was trying to drag, or comfort, or something, put out of their misery, or something like that, and not necessarily his blood. But also, well, as I said, he does go around the back and open the back doors and yells they're coming. And as he tries to climb into the back of the Unimog, we see a raptor approaching fast, and it leaps onto his back, scaring the absolute shit out of the kids as all this is happening right in front of him. But I got to wonder what's his motivation. He's ran into the compound, past all the cages. I don't know if he would have known originally that Claire was in the Unimog, if he even cared where she was. She was just the operations manager of the park or whatever. That was sort of Owen's business dealing with her. And sort of another case here, badass soldiers turning into idiots after something goes wrong and thinking he can catch a ride in the Unimog and it being a safe place.
Oh, it might have been that he just saw somebody sitting in it, and he's like, he's trying to get everybody out of there while they're evacuating the area, basically, Yeah.
But then we have the other issue, which we love to discuss, and that's geography. We've seen the team driving off away from the raptor enclosure into Sector 5, I think it was, Owen pointed out. So they'd probably been driving for about half an hour before they'd come up on the Indominus, even though it was a couple of minutes of screen time. And suddenly, 2 minutes after the attack, this soldier just runs out of the jungle and he's all of a sudden back at the raptor enclosure. I don't know, but he's the only one too. Like, we've seen other soldiers get on that quad bike and the other vehicle, but they don't come back here. They've gone somewhere else. We don't see them ever again.
No.
Memory serves.
They might have went straight back to Main Street,
Mm. But even getting in that Textron Tiger, once you're inside that thing's bomb-proof. Like, your Raptor safe, maybe not Indominus safe, and it would have been good to see it take on, or the Indominus taking it on, just to continue to show how good it is, but yeah, we don't see that ever again, unfortunately. But Claire managed to get the Unimog started and punches it, and the Unimog launches forward with the soldier and the Raptor still hanging onto the back, but they slide out of the vehicle. This Unimog accelerates pretty quick for what Unimogs can speed up. Claire will have had to change a few gears. I don't think they've made them automatic yet. They're still, I'm pretty sure they're still 10 speed forward and 10 speed reverse. So there's a lot of gear changing there to get any sort of speed up in the vehicle. But the sudden acceleration is enough for that soldier and Raptor to slide out the back of the Unimog, where she keeps on eating the soldier. I couldn't see in the Pedia which Raptor this was. I know Echo turns up later to chase him and get prodded out of the back of the Unimog, but
she has a greenish tinge to her. I think it's Delta.
Yeah, so it's either Delta or Echo, because of course Charlie's gone and Blue's off following Owen.
Mm-hmm.
But also, of course, as the vehicle starts, every flashing light and light beam turns on, lighting up the area. I'm not quite sure Claire knew where those switches were, so maybe they were on when the vehicle was turned off. But it's a big "here I am, come and get me" sort of signal flare that she's driving down the road here, and she bangs on the window behind her and yells back to the boys, "Just hold on back there." And that's when we get a side shot of looking past Claire at that bloody hand, and in comes Echo from nowhere, directly into the side of the vehicle, as if the vehicle wasn't even moving. And not real good CGI here, as it happens.
Yeah, I agree. Is that Echo? I thought that was Blue.
Well, I was just going off Pedia, because she falls back out the window and tumbles and tries to get into the back of the vehicle.
Yeah, that's right. It is Echo.
But it's just a shame, because Claire barely reacts. She doesn't react to the window breaking at all. She just sits there screaming down at the Raptor. If she would have been told the Raptor's head's going to be at the steering wheel, just look down and scream at it. She's still holding the steering wheel with both arms when the Raptor would have gone through and taken her left arm off if she was still holding onto that steering wheel. It's just a shame, again, the actor's not having anything here to react off.
Well, all it was just the maquette head of Blue sitting in her lap.
Yeah.
In front of her as she's driving.
Yeah.
And that's all she's reacting to.
Yeah. Anyone that's been driving down the road at night or something, had a bird fly into the side window or even into the front window, your natural reactions are swerve, even though you're not supposed to. Something big like a Raptor here impacting the side of the Unimog, she should have swung that thing to the right and into the jungle, unfortunately. But it doesn't happen. Echo can't hold on and falls out of the window and rolls along the road behind him, letting out another one of those keyboard screams, and then gets up and resumes the pursuit after another Raptor runs past, which I think this one is Blue. Because it's weird, when Owen turns up later, Blue's not following him, so I don't know if this is Blue that's overlapped Owen and got to the chase ahead of him, or if it's Delta here. It's just hard, but it's so dark. And not having enough distinguishing colours or patterns on the Raptors that you're going to be able to see in low light.
Yeah. Kind of the only thing that sucks about this being a night is you can't really tell which Raptor's which.
Yep. But it makes me wonder too why they're doing this. So I understood earlier when Indominus becomes a new alpha and they've got the threat of the soldiers there, they're going to take out all the soldiers, but why? Is it just Echo playing with the food? They're sort of making intelligent animals just Jaws, just the monster again here. It's the Spinosaurus just chasing for no reason. You're free. Go, run. You just run off into the jungle with the Indominus and you've had your fill.
Be free.
Yeah.
Don't eat me.
Again, like it's you're going after two kids and a woman in a fleeing vehicle. Yeah, again, maybe flashing lights. I'm going to chase the pretty lights and attack whatever's in it. But they keep on trying to tell us how intelligent the animals are, and this doesn't seem like an intelligent move from them at all.
It seems definitely more like a cat kind of move, where they're just chasing whatever's moving, and that happens to be the fastest moving object in the area.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've taken out the threat now, and we're just playing with our food. You can't do anything to us. We're just going to play, which is really what they do, because she doesn't really come up on the Unimog real quick either. She just sort of sits behind it, just running along at 30, 40 miles an hour, whatever the Unimog's doing. I say even maybe 20 miles an hour. It's not going overly fast here. The Raptors should be able to catch up and overtake it pretty quickly.
I'm just looking ahead, but it's Delta who is with Charlie here. I'm sorry, Echo here, because Delta and Charlie were the two Raptors that had the Sorna-Raptor crests on their face.
All right,
Echo and Blue had the Jurassic Park and Lost World Raptor faces.
Okay. So for some reason, Blue hasn't been able to keep up with Owen, and we don't see her again until we get to the Innovation Centre. But the boys look through those back swinging doors of the veterinary unit as the second Raptor runs along the road behind them. Zach gets up and makes for the rear, and outside you can see both Raptors catching up to the slow vehicle. As I said before, it probably should have happened sooner. Zach unties some oxygen bottles, and again we're getting a bit of a Jaws reference here by rolling them out the back of the vehicle, trying to get the Raptors to bite down or use them to explode. He's lucky with one oxygen cylinder here. It does hit the ground, and the tap breaks off, sending that plume of air up. But
I'm not really sure the top speed of a Unimog, but I remember Muldoon saying that the Raptors can, if they get a good out in the open, which the stretch of road is, can go up to about 50 or 60 miles per hour.
I don't know if they've geared the new ones better so they can do better highway speeds, but I know the older ones here that we've seen in the Lost World that our army use, you might be good for 40 miles, if that, on a flat stretch of road. Just they're geared low, they're utilitarian, they're built to be off out in the bush, out in the jungle, not cruising along at the high speed at 55 miles an hour like other vehicles. Yeah,
looking at the 2014 model, they're saying that top speed is about 50, 55 miles an hour. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that in a good asphalt situation where you haven't got much road roll and resistance, headwind, that sort of thing.
These Raptors are catching up easily.
Yeah. But the Raptors split up and start moving up the side of the Unimog. Claire watches one in the rearview mirror, and as it gets beside the vehicle, she swings left, trying to sandwich the animal against a tree. And as the minute ends, we see the Raptor start to get up when it probably should be injured. Going up, having a Unimog on one side and a tree on the other. That's weird, because we're even going back to the original Jurassic Park, Grant saying how the Raptor's bones are full of air sacs and hollows like birds. They're meant to be light. They're meant to be light animals with light bones. Yes, muscle takes up a lot of weight, but the later films just sort of make Raptors tanks. They can leap through buildings, glass, all that sort of thing, and seem to take hits pretty well. Where here, this Raptor should probably have a broken leg or something, some more damage at least.
Interesting. I remember in the books that they said that the Raptors had thick bones, hollow but thick, where that allowed them to that bullets didn't really penetrate well, and if they did penetrate, they were slow to bleed.
Well, yeah, Muldoon again, rocket launcher. He didn't want the rocket launcher for Rexy. It was for the Raptors, and they do fire it and blow a Raptor's leg off, but it still keeps on going after that leg's gone. Yeah, he's in his drunken stupor in the novel. A lot of times he's telling Gennaro just how hard it is to kill a Raptor, especially at the end when they get back to the visitor center. So, yeah.
And these ones do seem bulkier than the Raptors we've seen in previous movies, so that's probably also has something to do with it, you know?
Yeah, yep. Anything else on that before we get into some novel comparisons?
No, I think we're good.
Alright, we get a shot here in the control room. We don't actually go back to the Unimog in the novel just yet. Larry watching the animals eating people through the video feeds and asks, is this what you guys had in mind? But no one answers him. He turns around to see Hoskin gone and the InGen personnel clearing out, packing up their equipment. So we get the sort of InGen bailing out here earlier in the novel. Vivian told him that they've been told to evacuate. There's a boat coming, and when we cut to the lab. We see everyone clearing out, but we don't get that for a couple more minutes in the film. So a bit of a change around of scenes between the novel and the film, which would sort of add that bit of time in there for when Claire sees the last of the soldiers getting killed, and then all of a sudden the other soldier banging on the side of the Unimog. It would give us a bit of a bit longer time in there, novel-wise, than what we get in the film. But alas, it didn't happen. Anything else on 98 before we get heavy for the day?
No, I think we're good.
All right, lovely.